Are you an associate dentist, tired of feeling like you have no control over how you practice dentistry? Are you burnout? Have you thought about starting your own practice, but are terrified of making huge financial and personal mistakes? Are you unsure about how to even begin the process? Hi, I'm Stephen Trutter, CEO of Ideal Practices, and I can't wait for you to get your hands on our new book, The Startup Dentist. Inside, you'll learn the strategies to open your own dental practice that I've used with over 800 successful startup dental practices. Why did I write this? I've seen too many associate dentists who are completely burned out and unsatisfied with their associateships, but they're scared to go it alone, or they fear it's too risky and they'll fail at it. But I also know how much they dream about owning their own practice these days, making their own schedule, serving the patients they want to serve, and making a difference in their local communities. I'm so confident about the impact this book can have on your future as a startup practice owner that I want to give you a copy for free. All you have to do is cover the cost to print your copy, and we'll rush it directly to your doorstep. Now, inside this book, you'll learn the 13 stages of opening a successful dental practice from the idea phase all the way to the opening day. And if you follow these stages to a T, you too could be sitting in your very own practice 12 to 18 months from today. And obviously, I can't go through all 13 stages right now, but I want to open the book with you and show you a few of the stages you're going to learn when you get your free copy. So let's begin right here in stage one, your vision. And when most people think about vision, they may be thinking about the colors or the flooring options, or maybe even the types of chairs. What I'm talking about is really deeper in terms of vision. How do you want to be known in the community and establish your reputation early on? Or maybe even thinking further ahead in your life of how do you want to be remembered, maybe even after your days as a dentist are over? Or maybe there's a give strategy. Maybe there's something that you're passionate about that's beyond the walls of your practice that you want to support. We want to start establishing that early, even before we start doing anything else, is establishing this deeper vision of who you want to be in your community and how you want to serve patients. Let's talk financing. This might be one of the biggest concerns that you have, which is, how do I get properly funded? Or are banks even going to fund me? Let me tell you, you need to make sure that there's actual preparation before you even talk to banks. You need to put yourself in the best position to get properly funded, and making sure that all this financing fits within the framework of your vision. We're going to answer some of your biggest questions about, how do I get a loan that won't put me in too much debt? Or how can I get my loan to open my practice even if I don't have a lot of savings? Or can I manage even if I have large student loans? All these questions are going to be answered for you in this book. Now let's talk about one of the biggest decisions that you'll make in your career, choosing the site. And what I first want to talk about is understanding demographics. In the book, you're going to understand what are the right ratios. And I'm not talking about just the highest ratios, but understanding the right ratios that align for you with the right community, that align with the right data in the actual competition ratios, and also aligns with the kinds of patients you want to see. So we got to make sure that you have the right demographics built for you. And once we determine what that is, now we're going to move into selecting the actual site. And let me tell you, pretty buildings are the biggest signs. Those don't equal the biggest success. What I'm talking about is making sure that you're put in the proper posture to negotiate the best real estate with the best terms, with the right environment, so that you can step in with confidence and be able to get the best possible real estate transaction available to you. In site selection, we're going to answer some of your biggest questions, like demographics. What are the best ratios for me? When it comes to negotiations for real estate, am I properly represented? Am I going to be taken advantage of? And how to protect yourself and making sure that you're put in the proper position to negotiate the best real estate. And lastly, how big of a space do I need? Let me tell you, you don't want to have the largest space because that could hurt financially, but also you don't want to have the smallest space that you end up finding yourself outgrowing it and maybe putting a cap on your production. All right, let's talk floor plans. When it comes to floor plans, we're not just talking about walls on paper and lines on paper. We're talking about a truly custom floor plan. You want to make sure that you have a floor plan that represents you in your vision. Again, not just lines on paper. You want to make sure that it also maximizes your productivity, that has all the right elements so that your practice can produce. So here, we're going to be able to answer those questions about how many operatories can I fit into a space? What are the other elements that I need? Is my space compliant? And if you noticed, I've said vision, and all this is tied together back to vision. Your vision is integrated in every single part of this process, including your floor plan. You may be thinking, I know clinical dentistry, but I don't know how to run a business. At this stage, what we call the Startup MBA, we're going to be able to teach you the foundational business systems so that you too can build a profitable practice from day one. Some of the areas that we're going to cover at this stage are topics like hiring. We're going to help you navigate insurances, protocols and systems so that you have proven systems every single day, leadership and how to build the right culture in your practice. And lastly, we got to understand how to get patients to the door. So we're going to talk about proven startup marketing strategies so that you too can have a full schedule from day one. These topics and much more are going to be covered at this stage. Maybe you've heard the saying, if you build it, they will come. Well, that doesn't apply to startup dental practices. You need to make sure that you have a proven marketing strategy to get your ideal patients in your practice from day one. In this section of the book, we're going to discuss proven startup marketing strategies that are built for startup practices that are in alignment with your vision to attract hundreds of the kinds of patients that you want to serve in your community. And I'm not just talking about tactics. Yeah, you need a website. Yeah, you need a brand. Yeah, you probably have ads. I'm talking about proven marketing strategies that gets you in the community, that connects you with other business owners, other community leaders, so that you can make the distinction between you and your competition. And lastly, what are you doing beyond the walls of your practice? What is the purpose of your practice? Maybe it's something that you want to champion, whether it's a charity or a foundation, because then what you're doing is you're attracting people to your practice beyond just discounts. They're coming to you because of your values. This is a true startup marketing strategy in order for you to get open and have a full schedule from day one. Are you excited yet about what's inside? That was just a small sampling of a few chapters. So imagine what you'll take away when you read this book from cover to cover. And even though this is jam-packed with information and strategies and case studies from dentists who have been in your shoes and now have gone on to own their own successful startup practices, I want to sweeten this deal a little more. So if you sign up to receive this book today, I'm going to give you 3 additional bonuses as a special thank you for taking action on your goals. The first bonus is a free strategy call with one of our lead startup strategy advisors. On this free call, you'll explore the possibilities for your startup, your next steps, any roadblocks that you're concerned about, and any other questions you have after reading this book and more. The second bonus is free access to our startup practice documentary. You'll get a behind the scenes look at Dr. Brian's journey as he went from associate dentist to $1 million practice owner in just 12 months. And last but certainly not least, you'll also get free access to our 13 stages training video, so you really understand each step of this process inside and out. Ready to learn a ton and get started on opening your practice of your dreams? All you have to do is click on this button and let me know the address to ship it to. You'll just cover the cost to print your copy, and then we'll ship you a brand new copy of the Startup Dentist book today. Click on the link below and we'll send you your copy right away.